Hey guys, it's Beth, and I am to that point in my pad project that I'm getting ready to work on the cards with what I have left of the paper. So thought I would bring you along with me on my card making process this time. I haven't done a process video in a while. I am still working on the Happy Fall pad from CraftSmith. And I know there were several of you that were also working on this pad with me. So don't forget that if you're posting pictures of your projects that you've made with this pad, be sure to use the hashtag BCCraftsHappyFall. And then I'm also doing a fall pad collaboration with Leah over at Ode to Paper. And if you are working along with us on just any fall pad, then the hashtag for that is fallpaperpadsunite. So this is what I am left with. There's like some cardstock scraps in here too, but just a lot of little scraps that are left. And I apologize, but there are 2 flies in our house right now that we have not been able to kill. And it doesn't matter what room I'm in, they find me. And right now they are both buzzing around my head. So if you see me swat at something, that's what is currently just driving me mad. Okay. There, I have a couple like bigger scraps of some things left. I think that one's pretty good size. But I don't have any full sheets left. I have some that are like just over half size, and that's it. And then these are the cardstock scraps that I also want to work on using up. But that's what I have to use as far as the paper for my cards. I also have some cut-aparts left that I had saved because I thought they would make great sentiments for the cards, like give thanks, blessed, happy fall, things like that. And they're the little label cut-aparts, but then I do still have some of the 3x4 size cut-aparts left. And so I'm going to be working on using those on these cards as well. And then I also have there's these cut-aparts left, which I had intended on using on my hot cocoa packets and just didn't need them. I may try and incorporate those into the cards. And then the letters that I'm still not sure. I've actually used a bunch of them on some other projects that I'll share later, but these are the ones that I have not used yet. So that's what I will be working with today. If you have the Happy Fall pad and are working along with me, you are welcome to pull out your pad and make some cards along with me. We can kind of craft together, but I will be kind of putting this to music and probably speeding it up just a little bit, but hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing and get some ideas. Thanks for watching. If I don't jump in at the end, just wanted to say thanks for watching. So I wanted to jump back in here and just kind of explain some things. Right there, I had just really quickly shown you some of the pre-stamped or pre-printed sentiments that I kind of keep a stash of, and so I have those with some of my other embellishments. And then also wanted to explain this first part here. You're seeing me go through all of the bigger scraps and see what would make good card mats, and then going through the process of cutting all those down to card mats just to kind of speed up the process later on. And then you'll see me sort my scraps several times just to kind of take a restock of what I have left. The space where I'm filming this is not as big as where I normally craft, and so it tends to get kind of crowded and cluttered, and I just want to keep a good idea of what I have left to work with. So you do see me kind of resort a few times in this video, and this is part 1 of at least 2, because the video is already starting to get long and I still have a good ways to go as far as finishing off the cards from this paper. So this will be part 1, and I do show you the cards as I finish them along with the sketch that I used. But because it is sped up, if you miss it or don't get a good look at it right after I finish it, I will show you them all again at the end, so don't fret. And I will link all the card sketches in the description box below like usual. I try to show you the sketch along with the card, but again, it goes fast and I don't know how well you can read the sketch number. So those will all be linked in the description box below, and I will show you all of the cards and sketches together again at the end, like I said. So I start out with this video is mainly using the cut aparts, trying to use up all the cut aparts that were in the pad. And I really started, I'm just trying to use up that deer paper because I thought it was cute and wanted to be able to use that as the focal point. But then I switched to the 3x4 cut aparts and then end up with the little label size cut aparts. And I did try to keep as much of my process as I could in the video. The only thing I cut out were the times where I really struggled and fiddled just with nothing for a long time or just kind of sat there and stared at it. I did cut that out. But other than that, you see me go through, choose my papers. I kind of already had an idea of the sketches that I wanted to use for the most part, but you do see me like choose my papers, kind of play with the patterns, play with the different pieces for a while. So try to leave as much of that in there as I could. But otherwise, let me know if you guys have any questions on anything throughout the video. Hopefully this turns out better than some of the other process videos I've done, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I will touch base with you again at the end, showing you the cards that I got made during this part 1 of the card process series. Okay, so here are the cards that I made this first round. And this was the one where, the very first one I made, I wanted to take advantage of the deer that was left on that 12 by 12 sheet. This was down in one of the corners. I kind of cut up the rest of it for other stuff. So I wanted to be sure and use the deer. So I just kind of made it the main part of the card, added a little label cut apart here, and then a little banner up there just to dress it up a little bit. And it's okay. At least I took advantage of the deer. This is Operation Right Home, sketch number 44. Got 2 of these using some of the 3x4 cut aparts. This is SC 355. And got 2 of these as well. And it, luckily in the alphabet, H and I are right next to each other. So on those alphabet cut apart sheets, I was able to leave, I just left H and I together, knowing that that is a card sentiment that I could easily use. And so just kind of treated this one as a 3x4 type cut apart. I had included it with those, and that is my sentiment. So those were the easiest ones to use as far as those alphabet cut aparts. This is Reverse Confetti, sketch number 27. And I did 2 of these as well. These I think are one of my favorite. Just I like the way the brown pops. And I like the little hedgehog guy on there. My favorite thing, sketch number 170. And I did 2 of these. This is my other favorite. And then I had a third image of this little owl that says falls in the air. And if you can see the difference in the coloring, how this is the darker blue, this is kind of a more of a turquoisey blue. These were cut aparts in the pad. This one came from the pad cover. So even though the images were the same on the pad cover, the coloring was a little bit different. And so this pattern, this piece here that's on both sides was also from the pattern cover. And since the coloring didn't match the papers themselves, I was trying to use these 2 pieces together since their coloring did match. And this was one of the cards that I really struggled with and had to kind of cut some pieces out of the process, just because I really struggled how to get this one laid out. I don't know why. But I think it turned out okay. And then the little gold, I don't have any gold embellishments that aren't Brad's really, so I just used that gold foil tape to add a little bit something extra to the background there. This is Sweet Sunday, sketch number 178, and I got 2 of these. These were circles that I didn't end up using for something else. I don't remember if it was, I think one of my scrapbook pages. So I already had these cut, and so this was kind of naturally drawn to this sketch because it was really easy to use them. But then I kind of struggled as what to actually add to them. Just since it's, the background is pretty and has a lot of detail, but the plaid, the brown plaid here didn't have a whole lot. So I just went with some of those gold edged stickers from Stickabilities that I had to add a little bit of interest and pop. Then we have Operation Right Home, sketch number 99, and I got 4 of these, just kind of using different scraps that I had left. I had a lot of this woodland, image paper left, so I was trying to use up some of the bigger chunks, and that, had a lot of those label sentiment strips left too, or the label cut apart pieces left too. This is My Favorite Things 286. And I loved the little So Foxy cut apart, but felt like it needed to be used with something, even though it has a fox on there, I felt like I had needed to use it with something else that had a fox on it just to make it a little more cohesive, I guess the word maybe. So this is just a border strip that I had left, and so was looking for a way to use those together. This is My Favorite Things, sketch number 247. Got 3 of these, again, trying to use up big chunks of that woodland paper. And one of them actually did have a fox that you could see, so I used the last So Foxy cut apart with that one. This is CPS 217. And this one was kind of a happy accident because it almost looks like I did one of those banner strips that's folded. It's like you have the flat part and then you fold it so that it pops up from where the little tails are. But it's just because the way I layered like one of those label cut aparts on top of it, and it looks like the same paper going through. So that was kind of a happy accident. And then this is Freshly Made Sketches 382. And got 2 of these. And even though there's a lot going on in this pattern, I felt like the card needed something else after I added the little Friends cut apart to it. So I pulled out the Stickabilities, the gold line sticker sheet again, and just added some leaves just to give it a little bit more depth and interest. And then this is just a grid pattern, and I know there's sketches that are similar to this. I think I have several, but I just wanted to use this border strip with the last pumpkin spice cut apart. And so once I laid that across up here, I was just trying to find pieces that would fit beneath it. And this one was good in length, but not in the width. And so I just added the border strip down here just to make it fill that little grid space, and then added my pumpkin spice cut apart. This is just a sketch from Robin's craft room. This is Operation Right Home sketch number 156. And then My Favorite Things sketch number 331. And then the last one that I made in this part is My Favorite Things sketch number 352. And I just decided to actually combine 2 of those little label cut aparts to make a sentiment instead of just using them by themselves. So I think there are 28 cards that I've gotten so far through this part 1, and I still have a lot of little scraps left. So part 2 will be me trying to use up the last little bit of scraps and then the last of the cut aparts that I have. So you'll kind of see how I use up the smaller scraps. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and that it was easy to follow. If you have any questions about my process, please let me know. Again, card sketches will be linked in the description box below. And if you guys haven't subscribed already, please do so, because I have, there's a few more projects left with this pad, and then I have Christmas pads coming up. I have so much paper left to use, and I'm just like, more than ever, for some reason, really inspired to be using it. And so if you guys are still needing ideas, or if you love the inspiration on how to use up some of that paper in your stash, please do subscribe and continue to stay tuned for all those new projects to come. But I thank you guys so much for watching today, and I hope you're having a crafty week.